But yeah, you ready to go for this podcast? You'll amped up. I know you're playing, can't play it on the show, but you're cranking some Rolling Stones, getting ready.
I'm amped.
Getting, amped. You know what? Speaking of Rolling Stones, though, you know what I actually watched the other day that I hadn't seen since literally it came out was Pirates of the Caribbean 3.
Oh, yeah.
I like how that.
A few times
I like how that ties into like like Rolling Stones because it has Keith Richards in it, which was a magical moment. I mean, I kid you not. You see Keith Richards in a movie, you're like, get the fuck out.
Well, you're watching it, you're hoping. You knew he wasn't going to be in a whole lot, but you're sitting there because the rumor was, he's going to be in the movie. You knew he was supposed to be in the second one, but got hurt while filming. Apparently, he fell off a pineapple tree, which I could believe. But it's one of those things where he was going to be in it.
I thought it was a coconut tree because then they tie that joke into the third one.
Maybe that's what it was.
Or
maybe
the fourth one, maybe it is. I can't remember because he's also in the fourth one as well too.
Maybe it was it was a tree.
Yeah. It's like,
anyway,
why was he up in that tree? It's Keith Richards. Why do you have to question that?
Someone probably dared him. He's like, "Fuck you, I'll do it."
I'm Keith fucking Richards. Who are you?
I snorted my father's ashes.
Oh, you're Eric Clapton, huh? You think you're so fucking special? You're not Keith Richards. I mean, I'll go climb that tree.
Why does that got to do with anything? Oh, he's already doing it. Okay.
Oh shit, he's up there. Oh god, he's coming down.
So's a coconut. Well, all the cocaine in the world couldn't kill him, so I'm not sure how a tree is, but you'll see what happens. But no, but that whole thing with that movie, I think we all knew it was just gonna be a quick little walk by, quick little scene. But I think we were also hoping it would actually see him like fuck up some sea monster creature or something.
Yeah, just sword fighting and shit, like taking on the Kraken one-handed or something.
I mean, it wouldn't have to really be him. You could have like a couple main shots where you see him swinging a sword. Then yeah, sure, throwing a stuntman or CG him doing some backflips or whatever. But yeah, there's he's just there to what goes in the book stays in the book. All right, cool. Oh, he's playing guitar for a second. There it goes. All right.
You know what's the funny thing though? It's like, okay, like my whole time I've been thinking that Pirates of the Caribbean 3 was just like an okay movie, nothing that special, and so on. And I've thought this ever since 2007 or whenever it came out. I remember everybody else around me was like, oh man, that one's so fucking good. I'm like, well, it's not the first one, which mostly anybody can kind of agree. But ironically, watching it again, I'm like, dude, what did I think was wrong with this one? This one's actually really good. I'll actually even say this, I think it's better than number 2.
Well, I'll say this. I haven't seen it in a long time, and I remember not being that impressed with it, because I just thought it was just kind of... It bounced back and forth from plot to plot, and I know there's a whole backstabbing thing they got going on, because they're pirates, but 1 minute someone's a friend, and then for a convoluted reason, they gotta backstab them, they're over here, and they're back over there, and it was just bouncing around, zigzagging every which direction. And, it wasn't I didn't remember it being a bad movie. I remember it being amazing. But I remember I was the one person, because I liked the first one so much. I remember I was the one person we were walking to the theater being like, I don't know, guys, it wasn't that bad. Kind of lying to myself. And you and Cisco were like, no, man, it fucking sucked.
The only good part was Keith Richards. Ooh.
Yeah.
I feel like that was just teenage attitude. Be like, yeah, I took a multimedia class. I know how movies work.
I know how the industry is.
Because I was just watching it, I'm like, dude, what was I thinking? Because as I said, I think that was the last time I watched that movie was in theaters, and I was like, dude, there's really a pretty solid all-around movie. You know what I mean? That first one's pure perfect. I really will say. Every single time I watch it, I kind of go, yeah, that is pretty fucking dialed in. But it was funny. It was just it was one of those ones where I felt like it was a total come around. You rewatch a movie again, and then you go, you know what? This is actually pretty good. What the fuck is wrong with fucking 17-year-old self? 17-year-old self just had attitude, boots up on the fucking table, Game Boy in hand. What?
I don't need the SP. I got the old brick one, because I'm old school that way. A real gamer.
So what, you're a hipster? Fuck you. No, this is retro gaming, damn it.
Yeah. No.
It's that time period where you as you get older, you can't question it. It's just you just know it's there was youth. And there was always a Rage Against the Machine song playing in the background.
It just had to be applied to everything. And I remember, I think I said this on the show before. And, granted, I've come around. I don't like the movie as much as I did when it first came out. But there is, the first Michael Bay Transformers movie. And I was like, you know what? It's actually kind of a fun movie. It's not amazing, but it's kind of a fun movie. And then you're like, are the robots real? I'm like, well, no, because robots aren't real. Like, oh, I know
So it's not a guy in a suit? Come on.
It's not a guy in a suit. That's fucking bullshit. Like, well, I mean, it's CG. It'd be kind of hard to do. Transformers fucking did it. Godzilla did it for like 50 fucking years. Why can't fucking Michael Bay do it and make it look good? Like, I don't know. It's actually, it's not amazing, but it's actually a fun movie if you just give it a shit. I don't fucking care. And we watch it, like, literally, like, just give it a chance, dude. 3 minutes in. Like, where's your people? Where are the robots? I need robots. Well, there's a robot, but he's CG. I don't give a shit. That's not real me. And then, like, for some reason, the hill you were dying on, like, your big, like, pushback, fuck the man was, oh, there's CG in this movie? Fuck that.
Yeah, well, I ain't touching someone's got CG. I mean, it's okay if it's maybe, like, a little bit in the background, you know, maybe just expanding a city or something. You know, if it's Matrix or something like that that, like, has a reason why it should be CG, but no fucking normal movie should have CG.
Like, well, what about Star Wars? You like the prequels, and those had CG. That's Star Wars.
That's Star Wars. That's George's baby. You don't fucking touch that shit.
I get why that. Okay.
I don't know what it is. It's just I love kind of going back and rewatching things, and then a lot of times, I mean, nowadays I just feel like the ultimate like optimistic, where it's just like, you know what? Watch those Transformers movies. They're all pretty good. You know what? Fuck. I mean, they're not. I'm not gonna say they're amazing like the '84 movie, but. So, you know what? If you just go into it having a fun time, you'll have a fun time. That's all.
If you go in on the fifth one with, like, you know, like a combo of, like, liquor and Vicodin, oh, man, that movie's fucking Casablanca.
You know, when David Razzie was on the show and we were talking about that fifth one, I don't know what it was. Like, that moment of just talking about it made that movie sound 10 times better than it was actually in theaters. I don't know what it was. I remember we were talking about, like, dude, this happens and this happens. Like, oh, fuck, that does too. Shit, that's so weird. It's almost like when you hear it on paper or, you know, in conversation, it sounds amazing. It's like, oh, well, what is this? What is this we're going on about? Like, this sounds great. I mean, the movie itself was not that, but for some reason, like, the hindsight just talking about the ideas just made it sound 10 times more fun.
Well, I remember even Razzie's his like reaction was like, what the fuck? Wait, what? And he's usually, from like the times he's been on a show and listening to his show, he's always a very quick-witted, funny guy. But just hearing his reaction to some of the things we said, like, wait, go back, what? Like, here, yeah, they have like a Suicide Squad of like Decepticons and Merlins in the beginning. He's drunk, like, wait, what?
And then, you know, there's Nazis and Confederates, and you're like, the fuck? And obviously the robots didn't care to prevent any of that stuff.
The Autobots had a hand in the, like, you know, you think they should, like, slavery is wrong, President Washington. Yes, but we're set in our ways. Well, it's not like we can do anything to stop you. We're only thousands of years more advanced.
Yeah, exactly. But, I don't know, just goofy fun stuff. But yeah, I feel like, okay, I just wanted to say, Pirates of the Caribbean 3. I don't know what the fuck, I don't know what the fuck, like, you know, boots on the table, fucking DS in hand, Rage Against the Machine always playing, doesn't matter where you fucking are, me was thinking.
Yeah, well, I mean...
Fight the power, like that was what it was, just like fight the power. It'd just be like, what's he fighting against?
We gotta take the power back.
Yeah, we gotta take the power back. Well, what's he taking the power back against? I don't know, but look at him. I felt like I was like Rebel Without a Cause, but I was carrying a fucking DS. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I was like, that sounds like such a weird one, too. It's just like, oh, dude, what's that guy? Oh, look, he's a rebel. What's he doing? Oh, he's carrying a gun. Oh, look at that guy. What's he doing? He's carrying a knife or a samurai sword or something. Like, what's he up? Dude, he's got a DS in hand. You gotta watch out. Was he gonna, like, hack into, like, the fucking, like, ATM, like John Connor? No, but he's playing his...
Using an Atari.
He's playing his buddy with Mario Kart through the walls. It's pretty intense.
It's the year of the boomerang. What? It was off their second album. It's not as popular.
Yeah, it's still playing in the background. If everything's silent, you can start hearing some Rage just ever so slightly creeping in.
Like, where's it coming from? Just looking around. No. Well, going into... Oh, first off, Old Man Orange Podcast.
Old Man Orange Podcast. I'm Spencer Scott Holmes.
And I'm Ryan Dunigan.
So just in case you were confused with what the fuck was going on, and you're like, dude, I thought we were getting some hand action going today. And these guys start fucking talking about Johnny Depp and his fucking magical
Transformers.
So fucking bullshit from like the fucking 2000s. I ain't here for that. I'm here from the 80s. Even though this movie feels very 70s, it kind of threw me off when I was like, oh shit, it's 81.
So just full disclosure ahead of time, usually when we do a podcast, we like to come in and talk about, like, oh, I like this movie. Let's talk about it. And every once in a while, we'll grab something we've both never seen and talk about it. This is one where we've both never seen, so full disclosure, I didn't really care for the movie, but nonetheless, I think it's actually still pretty interesting in some ways.
Well, this is one of those ones where, like, I was just kind of flipping through on, like, Amazon or something like that. You know, falling down the old rabbit hole of, like, related links. And all of a sudden, it's like, I see this, like, Oliver Stone movie come up. I'm like, what the fuck? I'm like, I got the box set of Oliver Stone. Where the fuck is this movie in there? You know that when they, like, keep a movie out of a box set? You got, like, every other movie known to mankind. Now, if it's a new movie, I know it's not supposed to be in there. But there's 2 Oliver Stone movies that he both wrote and direct that aren't in that box set. And The Hand being one of them. And I was like, you know what? I'm buying this. This sounds too amazing. Michael Caine, Oliver Stone. It's a horror movie. It's about a comic book artist, and he loses his hand, and it goes on like a killing spree. I'm like, I'm sold. Don't tell me anymore. This sounds amazing.
And the thing about it is, it kind of plays it off like it's not like a horrible or god awful movie like some of the stuff would make it out to be. Apparently, this movie was like really hated when it first came out. But at the same time, it does some interesting choices, I think. Like, I think it's kind of interesting for a while. It plays it off a little bit more like a psychological horror movie than a full-on, like, oh, it's a creepy hand, and that shit eventually happens. But for a minute, it's just like, oh, is this some weird, like, Eraserhead shit?
Well, yeah. Well, at first it starts off, too. It's just like, yeah, Michael Caine's like, oh, I draw my comic book. Yeah, and for some reason, I'm the only one who's speaking British. Everybody else is American, and nobody questions why I'm here. But I make a comic book. And it's like Conan the Barbarian, but it's not Conan the Barbarian, but it's drawn by the guy who did Conan the Barbarian from Marvel Comics. Isn't that confusing now, kids?
Well, you could tell that he's a guy who, even though you think of Oliver Stone as this guy who makes, like, I make movies that say something about history, or the corruption of politics, or the inner meaning of what it means to be human through true events, you know, and then he goes and does something kind of like this, but then you also remember, oh yeah, he wrote the first Conan script.
Yep.
So deep down, maybe he killed that part of him, but and he at one point was going to do Scud, the assassin, which was done by, I'm forgetting, drawing a blank on the guy, Rob Lowe, I think is his name. Maybe I'm drawing a blank on the guy's name.
Rob Lowe, the actor.
Not the actor. He's a guy. He would work with Dan Harmon a lot on a lot of different things and do a lot of that kind of Channel 101 style humor. He's one of the writers on Monster House. Anyway, he at one point had a comic, an independent comic, and Oliver Stone was going to direct it. So I think at one point in time, maybe he still is, just he's not interested in working on it. There's one point in time where he did do a lot of like nerd and not nerd, but like I guess like genre and fantasy type stuff, like Conan the Barbarian, and this is obviously making nods and references to Conan the Barbarian.
Exactly. Well, they got the guy who does the artwork in the movie. It's Barry Windsor Smith. He does all the Conan stuff, pretty much from Marvel in like the 70s and 80s.
That's pretty awesome.
So it's like that makes sense because when you kind of look at that artwork, I'm like that artwork looks very Conan-like, and you're like, oh well, there you go. You know, well, even the first movie, though I haven't watched that one yet of Oliver Stone's too. That
Caesar.
That has a comic book influence as well too. So, and I think that's kind of, I mean, like this is kind of the funny way about this is I feel like Michael Caine, he's doing like that old school. He's not actually making comic books. I think he's making comic strips. You know, so like the classic Spider-Man in the Sunday paper, where like you got like 4 panels of like every single day. You're like, okay, what's Spidey coming up to next? Oh shit.
Yeah, and I think it's also one of those things where I guess it's kind of interesting because you think when I'm watching this movie, it initially opens up. I'm like, am I watching the same movie? Because Spencer said it's a comic book artist. That's Michael Caine. Oh, Michael Caine. What? Michael Caine's the comic book artist? Is like, yes, I am a comic book artist, drawing Conan the Barbarian, you know, or wrote whatever his name was. And it's just one of those things where it's like, I mean, I like it. I like that aspect about that, but at the same time, it just sounds so like he is like the last guy you'd expect to be like, this is my masterpiece. It is my Superman in a loincloth, you know?
Yeah, well, it's like, Mandro. That's what I have to create. It's Mandro. Don't you dare fucking touch my And I feel like the one thing that's kind of interesting is what I think Michael Caine also kind of gives. Like, I don't think the movie's necessarily saying this, but that's how I sort of feel. Is he's this guy who comes from like the sort of the newspaper era of comics, and it's almost like he doesn't like the idea of the people coming out with the regular comic books. He's like, no, the prestige is about to be in the newspaper. 4 panels a day. 4 panels every fucking day. That's what I do. None of this 24-page bullshit.
I think it's also a point when
Color only happens on Sundays, damn it.
and we were grateful. It's an occasion.
Yes, you have to earn. You have to earn that color. You don't just get it.
That's what this generation doesn't understand. These DC comics. Well, DC comics were around back when you were a kid. Don't sass me, boy!
I'm Michael Caine. Don't you dare take that away from me. I'm the only British person in this movie. Fuck you all.
Well, so here's the thing with that. I guess I didn't think about it at the time, but this also might be a statement, because I'm assuming... I don't know, maybe it'd be so funny if, like, you just hear, like, Oliver Stone, like, no, I never really cared about comics all that much. It just, by coincidence, I just take some comic book shit and put it in the movies every so often. Really? Just by coincidence? Yeah, just once in a while. I don't know. It just kind of happens that way. But I bet he probably does, actually, at some point in time, was a fan of comics. And maybe it was a statement on... Because there's this part where... We're going to jump ahead here, just slightly. We're going to go mostly in order. But I'm just going to make a reference just because I think the statement, maybe it's making about comics at the time. There's a part where some newer, kind of douchier, younger writer is coming in.
Mm-hmm.
And he wants to make the character more self-reflective and questioning things. And they want to try and take it in this new direction. And Michael Caine's like, well, it's not like you just take away Superman's balls. He's still He knows what he is. He doesn't contemplate. He is this. He just goes through with the mission. And there's nothing wrong with that. But the guy has this idea of like, yeah, but... stories this day, we need to look inward, all this and that. And even though there's a lot of comics I like at that time, that was a point where like is Swamp Thing more than just a monster? Or that's like, what makes Batman tick? That's that point when they started doing a lot of that in comics.
Yeah, well, I like that there's a part where Michael Caine's like, no, he knows what he wants. Look at that face. That's a face of a man who has already thought it out. Not your bullshit. He's thinking to himself, inner monologue, what is this? What is an inner monologue? He doesn't talk to himself. He's got his own, he doesn't need to do that. What is he? One of those guys who sits on the toilet talking to himself, making fucking sound effects, swinging his dick around?
I wish that whole, like, spiel was in the movie right there.
And then they open up the artwork, they're like, Michael, what did you do? You drew all over it. Well, fuck it was shit artwork.
I was surprised.
My left hand drawn better than that.
Well, even that part, I was surprised. I thought that it was going to be something like... I thought it was something more fucked up when that part happened, when they opened it up. Like, what did you do? Like, oh, it's going to be something fucked... Oh, just scribbled over. Okay. Yeah. With a drawing of the guy, like, I'm a fucking douchebag or whatever.
Well, I got kind of scared there because it made me feel like he was going to go, like, blame it on his daughter or something like that.
Did you touch those fucking pictures?
Don't you dare.
They weren't any good.
No, Daddy, I was drawing a colored house, unlike your black and white crap. Don't give me sass, young lady.
You fucking little twat. You will learn your place! Here's the thing about Michael Caine, because he is, like, very... you're used to being kind of like, very loving Michael Caine, or very, like, you will not disappoint me, Michael Caine.
Yeah.
Like, it will be disastrous for you if you do so. Like that. So, and he's constantly teeter-tottering between those two. He is like that guy with everybody who's not his daughter.
He really is. He's got like this Gene Wilder hair that keeps getting more and more crazy as it goes on. And the thing about Michael Caine in this movie, it's one of those ones, like, you really can't tell what his age is. He could be like anywhere from 65 to like 32. I'm just not too sure.
He's just got one of those faces.
He's older than everybody in this entire movie, but his wife is kind of like, is his wife like just like 26 or something like that? And he just happens to be like 43. I'm not too sure what's going on.
So starting off in the movie, they're have a nice camp. I know it's not gonna I know it's not gonna end great, but it's like, dude's got a nice house by the lake. He makes comics for a living. This dude's living the fucking life. And, he's out there chopping wood and everything's going
manly
good.
Michael Caine. He's got his flannel on, out there chopping wood, living the dream outdoors and drawing comic books.
If this was the 90s, he would be drawing probably Cable and probably listening to like Eddie Vedder or Temple of the Dog, like on a like Walkman while doing all this.
And just be as ripped as Stallone or something.
Yeah.
just Michael.
That's a buff ass hand coming after you.
Michael Caine just rips his shirt off, just fucking jacked, like Rambo 2, just strutting around, but still that same haircut. Still that haircut that's like from the 1700s.
He's using himself as a model reference for Cable or whatever.
Because it's so funny. I'm looking at it like Michael Caine's hair in this movie. I'm like, dude, that doesn't look like 70s hair. That looks like 1700s hair. He could be like hanging out with George Washington with that cut.
No, it looks like he was out. Like he looks like he was out, like just doing like coke all night in like a fucking club. That's what it fucking looks like.
Well, especially the more it goes on too. It gets more out there and wavy, and it's almost like it's untamed by the end of that movie.
So as it starts, essentially he's just kind of living his life the way he wants, and his wife is. Here's what I think about the wife. What the wife's supposed to be. She is this lady who looks a lot younger than him, and I don't know if she has a job. I don't think she has a job. Maybe she does, but I don't know. Maybe they said it. Maybe I missed it, but I don't think she does. So I think it's meant to be she's kind of the trophy wife for this guy who made good for himself. Maybe she was like a student of his or something like that. And when he was a younger professor and she was a student, and they married when she was young, and I think out of that's kind of already this sense of like, because you see her, she's like this hot young thing doing like yoga and all that in the middle while he's out there just drawing and all that. And
he's like, I've been working every day out in the field drawing comics so that you could do yoga with Bill fucking yoga instructor. Who is this guy? Is he fucking you?
Well, we're even jumping ahead there, but yeah. But then they get in the car, and immediately goes to that conversation like, well, we got to go over here. Like, so look, I was thinking, what if we go to New York? Like, I don't want to go to New York. Well, that's the thing. You could stay here, and we would go to New York for a while and just figure things out. Like, what do you mean figure things out? Well, just we want to go to the marriage. Like, I like our marriage. Don't you like our fucking marriage? What's wrong with our fucking marriage? So it does get hostile kind of quickly.
Of course, there's like this person trying to pass him as they're doing it. There's like a big semi truck in front and so on. This lady behind him. So it's creating this like hostility and so on. He's like, come on, yeah. It's like we live here in the fucking. What's like out the dream fucking house. And I think that's sort of what I think. The other thing it's kind of like saying without saying is that like Michael Caine's like old world, old school. You know what I mean? Almost like not necessarily like World War II style, but like almost like that. I feel like that kind of era feel where she's this kind of like floating hippie new age, like, I'm into yoga and like not eating red meat and like blah blah blah. She's actually like really like, she seems like she's like a lady out of like nowadays, but she just happens to be in 1981.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Like, I don't know what I want to do. I'm gonna keep going to school and learning weird shit. That's just what I do. Like, why work when you can learn? Well, because somebody's gonna pay the fucking bills.
Unless you want to draw Red Sonja. I'm already drawing Conan. Yeah, no.
Yeah. Mandro.
Mandro, that's what it is. I mean, he calls it Mandro. It's fucking Conan. Let's not kid ourselves.
It's like Prince Conan. That's what you know what it looks like? It looks like a tie between almost like Princess of Mars meets Conan.
Like some Deja Torres, like John Carter stuff, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But so from there, they're having this conversation. It's getting, and that's a good point right there. I think she's just like, he's this guy who's already content, and she's somebody who wants to leave. So out of that, he's just like, what the fuck? I thought we liked everything we got here. And it's not even so much her. It's more of like, no, I love my daughter. You're not taking my daughter from me. And as the conversation goes on, the stupid bitch behind him keeps honking her horn. He's like, flips her off, like, fuck you, you cow! Like, yells out at her. And then... And then at some point, she's trying to like get his wife goes around, and she's trying to get around the truck, but then there's another car coming, and then she gets behind him, and he's waving the lady to get back, like get back.
Yeah, like that bitch is like, she like literally pulls up so that they can't get back in the lane. Like, dude, that is fucked up. I mean, you know what I mean?
Why? Here's a quick, real question. Why didn't the hand go after that bitch? There's already my first big plot question
that literally was the Joker for him. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So they even gave like a close shot of her face when all this shit was going on. I'm like, okay, we got a close up shot of her face. We know what she looks like. There's a reason for that. I'm like, oh no, it's not. We're never gonna see her again. So maybe, who knows? Maybe that's an earlier draft of the script. But so then, during that, there's an accident. He loses his hand. It's probably the bloodiest part of the movie. He's like, oh my god! He's just like running around, and so now it's like, this is the hand he draws with. So now he's just trying to learn to draw. He has a prosthetic hand with with like the strong wire fingers. He has to pull cords with his other hand, so it's kind of like it can't really draw with it like he planned on originally. So he's trying to learn with his left. And by that point, his wife's like, "So about New York?" It's like, bitch, you got the worst fucking timing.
Well, even like when he loses his hand, that's like one of those moments. It kind of almost reminds me of sort of that, almost like Death Proof. You know how like the lady's got her fucking foot like out the window and everything like that? It's
Yeah.
like, it's one of those things where it's like, that makes me think every single time I see somebody with their fucking foot out the window, not only is it fucking gross, but the fact that if you get in a fucking accident, there goes your leg. And that's how this one felt. Like, oh shit, you don't want to stick your fucking hand out, especially if you're an artist. You can't be losing that right hand now.
Well, especially the part in Death Proof, like when the accident actually does happen and you see just the leg just flopping down the street, like for a second, like, oh shit. Like it wasn't the part where you see the car come up and like run up over part of the lady's face or anything. It's literally the leg flopping like that.
Yeah, exactly. And, you know, it's like in this one, too, it's just you watch this, like, flatbed just, like, take his hand off. And it is, like, it's, like, super brutal, too. It's not like one of those ones, like, other movies would have cut away. This one just kind of goes like, oh, God. Keep your hands, roll up the windows and keep your hands inside the moving vehicle now. Jesus Christ. What happened to Michael Caine here? And
He's got, like, a drummer from Def Leppard situation going on.
Yeah, exactly. That hand just shoots off into the field. And, of course, like, nobody can find it.
And, you know, as he's feeling, you know, it starts off kind of like being more like a drama. And they couldn't find the hand, and his wife he's like, I can still kind of feel it. Like, yeah, you'll feel it for a couple of years. It's gonna be there. And you know, it's once again, as this movie goes on, it's not that I think this movie's god awful or bad. I just didn't care for it that much. But there is some interesting things. But I think that first off, it's like a lower budget movie, I'm assuming. Secondly, I think that for how much wasn't going on, that's time you could have put into more of the weird psychological horror stuff. Because most of the hand kills, when they happen, they're not really all that interesting, you know?
Well, because I expected, since it was a comic book, I almost expected more comic book-like kind of creative deaths. And they are mostly like strangles. Like, you know what I mean? I know it's a hand, but, you know, it's also a hand, and I feel like there's more dexterity it can go around and do other neat things. Like, I don't know. I guess that's what I sort of expected more of.
Well, there's also this part, because when he's shortly after his accident, he's talking to his publisher, and she's like, look, I get it. You've been with us for years. We're not just going to kick you to the curb after this. We're going to try and do something where, you know, because let's be honest, you can't do your best work like this. Maybe you can do some work once in a while. You can do the writing, and then we could have someone else come in, and you take a big percentage of what the book is. You'll be more of like an overseer kind of thing. He says, maybe, I don't know. And they're at a restaurant, and he looks at her at her plate, and she's having a lobster. The lobster closes its legs like it's a hand for a minute. So I was like, oh shit, okay, it's going more psychological horror shit. And then there's like another part where, you know, he's taking a shower. And he's going to reach for like the knob. The knob, like it's like this, you know, just a plain silver knob, expands out. These creepy puppet fingers are wiggling around. Then it pulls back, turns back to normal. So, and there's only like a handful of scenes of that. And I think that the movie could have been a lot more effective if it did more of that. And like, you know, probably Oliver Stone or the producer would be like, yeah, well, that costs fucking money. Something we didn't have. So maybe that's why, asshole. But at the same time, I think there's ways to get it in there without, you know, being too expensive, maybe.
Well, and they had Stan Winston on here doing the puppeteering, because the thing is whenever the hand moves or anything like that, or all these like scenes, they're really well done. It's like one of those ones, like it looks really good. Like, and that's kind of the cool part about it. But I will say, it's one of these movies, like, I'll say the first half of it, I think is actually really amazing. The second half kind of peters out. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think it leads in like it's going to be this great fucking movie. And it's not that the second part's necessarily, it's not bad or anything like that. It just kind of goes like, oh, it has like that kind of like, shit, we ran out of money, so what are we going to do? Well, fuck it. He's just going to hang out in his California cabin because he goes to like teach college at some point. He's like, fuck New York. I'm going to California. Where he's
teaching in Sacramento, apparently.
Well, yeah, like right above that area or something like that. Because he's up in the woods still. So I actually almost want to say he's like, It says in there, but I kind of drew a blank already what it is. But like, it's kind of like in the woods and so on. I mean, it's closer towards like Reno area because he even goes to Reno at some point. So he's just kind of hanging out there. It's funny. He's teaching a class on comic books. That you think that like, dude, fucking a class on comics, and everybody in there kind of has that thing like, yeah, I need 3 extra units. So you're not into comic books? What's your favorite comic? Okay, you're a fucking idiot. What's your favorite comic? Yeah, I'm not really... You're a fucking idiot. What's your favorite comic? Oh, none of you like fucking comics, huh? You think you're so fucking special?
I just wish that happened.
Because that's the one thing I thought. I was like, dude, like, you think about that. Like, that's got to be, like, in 1981, like, somebody fucking teaching a class on comics? Get the fuck out. Like, how many of those classes are taught? You know what I mean? I mean, even this day and age, it's a rarity to find a class on comics.
Yeah, well, the other thing about that is that whole scene, leading up to this, it slowly becomes a slow burn of this guy's life falling apart.
If you ever seen a one-trick pony, then you seen me.
Ever seen a one sad Bruce Springsteen? You seen me wrestling all alone. No, this almost becomes like I
only know how to draw Mandro. Mandro's all I know. It's all I have is the Mandro.
Well, slowly, one thing after another, things start to go bad for him. So his wife's like, "What about New York? Oh yeah, we're just thinking about it. We're just hanging out over here," and just being kind of very underhand about everything. And here's the thing: it's not a perfect marriage, obviously, even from the get-go. And I'm sure he's got some things wrong, but they do nothing to make you like the wife.
Well, she's just like, Uncle Bill. Oh, so he's fucking uncle now. Well, that works well for the daughter. She seems to respect him. Not like a father figure, more like an older brother. Fuck that. You're fucking him, aren't you? Does little Jenny know? Well, yeah, she watches. Like, it's a new age thing to get kids accustomed to it. Like, that's fucking weird. What's wrong with you?
It's the new way of teaching sex ed. You should understand. It's very modern. It's very progressive. You should look into it. Like, I don't need some fucking loony, me paying him like $3,000 an hour to tell me I need another recession. There's another $3,000 an hour. Like, he goes on this whole... Because he has this very old world view of, like, you don't talk about your fucking problems. You just work through them. That's his view, because she's talking about, like, I've been reading these books, and I think we should go to therapy. Like, yeah, first off, I'm going to pay for the fucking therapy. Secondly, he's going to say...
Yeah, what, you think Mandro's just made out of money to pay for therapy? I like how he just always refers to Mandro. That's who it is, like it's another identity.
Just Michael Caine is Mandro. Like, well, here's I already got something else for it. This is actually not to totally rewrite the movie and change the premises. What if when he blanks out? The thing is, he blanks out, then shit happens, and apparently his hand went off and did some shit. What if it was he blanks out and it's kind of a Tyler Durden thing, and he's like he takes the form of Mandro and just goes on a killing spree as Mandro?
That'd be amazing. That would be like 10 times like. Wouldn't
that be a better movie than the one we saw?
Like, this movie here is still a solid movie in a sense. I mean, like a good old straight across the line film. But that would make it, like, pure, like, gold. Like, fucking, dude, shit. That'd be comparing with, like, fucking Oliver Stone greats. You know what I mean? You'd be like, dude, I don't know, that's rivaling, like, The Doors and Wall Street and fucking Platoon right now.
Well, the thing that got me interested in this movie in the first place is because it was an Oliver Stone movie. That's the thing that got me like, oh, okay, let's do this one.
Well, that's all those things, because really, like, Oliver Stone, he's one of those directors, like, I really think of him, like, he might be, like, in my top 5. He's for sure in my top 10 favorite directors, because there's only one movie I've ever watched of Oliver Stone's that I didn't care for that much, and that was just that Savages one. That was the only, like, okay Oliver Stone movie out there. And I remember I was so fucking amped for that film, and that's probably why. Because I was like, when has Oliver Stone ever failed you? We're just, like, fucking in there, like, fucking... Savages. Like, why are these guys so fucking, like, nobody else is here to see this movie. Why are you guys so amped for this?
Well, plus, in his own weird way, like, I kind of see it, sort of, but I gotta maybe look more into it. He views, even though one of the movies he didn't even write, he views Scarface, Natural Born Killers, and Savages as kind of a spiritual trilogy. So, all different characters, but just kind of carrying on similar themes and similar messages. So, I mean, the drugs and all the violence, I see that definitely. But anyway, so I think that was another reason why I was super excited about that one. But then it's like, okay, like that one, Alexander, and this one are the only ones I'm kind of like, okay. Like, none of them.
Alexander? I fucking love Alexander.
Maybe I got to see the extended cut, but the normal cut I saw, I remember being super bored.
I got the final cut one, so it's the third version of it.
Is this like the 5-hour cut?
Comes on 2 fucking discs. It's that long.
Jesus. When it was like 2 VHSs, that was a big deal back in the day. But when it's 2 discs,
You're like,
that's
shit.
Like, holy shit.
But yeah. I also like how there's the Bill Yoga dad that keeps appearing in this thing. And there's like that scene too where like there's like the creepy part. Michael Caine's like he's sitting up like in this like almost like opera seat. But it's just like one section there, and he's like looking down at fucking Bill, who's like kind of like, yeah, get in the pose, yeah. Here, get the stretch going. Here, let me feel your ribs real quick, yeah. Yeah, you get that there. And he's got like that shirt that's like almost like it's like a workout
showing off
shirt.
His nips.
But yeah, it's like right down to like the nipples instead. So it's a little bit odd. It's not like your normal like fucking Arnold Schwarzenegger pumping iron type shirt. It's just like this other one where it's like, yeah, that's right. Feel those pecs move. Yeah, you gotta get the stretch in.
That's one of those things.
Uncle Bill's here to help out.
That's like another one of those things. Like he's slowly seeing his life fall apart, and there's all these people that he hates, but all these people, only a few of them die or get attacked. Bill doesn't die.
No.
The lady who crashed the car and whose fault it is really in the first place for all this shit happening, we never see her again. There's the guy who fucked up his comic. The most that happens there is his hand went and scribbled through the pages, and there's the lady who fired him. We don't see her after he gets fired. So I feel like for being a movie about a hand seeking revenge, because the thing is, he's not going like, I wish my. It's not like it's not like he puts like like a dead mouse on the fucking windowsill and the hand just like devours the mouse right there. It's just like, I have a new task for you. It's not like that, and then it just like flees off into the night
through the window like the cat does in the beginning. It's like, meow.
That was funny as fuck. It's like, how the fuck the cat do that?
And my favorite part is they show that scene again. He thinks back on the cat jumping through the window like one more time because that was so fucking cool.
Not because like, hey, there's my zombie hand crawling around in the background over there. Not because of that, but because how did that cat jump through the fucking window? Wow! Crash. Yeah, I guess it did. That's fucking weird.
And why did it do that? What was that cat was fucking possessed? What was that cat possessed by? Ate that fucking tail at the beginning, and that was it. Daddy, the tail moves.
For a split second, I thought that because I know that lizard tails can do that, but I thought maybe because I didn't really know anything about the movie other than it was directed by Oliver Stone. It's about a comic book artist who lost his hand.
What do you need to know? That's like that right there is a fucking selling plot.
Well, I wasn't really sure, but like watching the beginning and seeing the cat like eating like something, and then there's like a waggling tail, and like it moves every time you get closer to it. Daddy, how's it know? Part of me thought that maybe it was gonna be something kind of like The Thing or something. Like his hand gets infected by whatever. Maybe it wasn't a lizard. Maybe it was something else. But no, it was just a lizard. It was just foreshadowing.
Yeah, that's just kind of all it was. But I think that's all this movie should have got to the point where like it sort of got darker as it went on. It's like, fuck that guy and his stupid afro for drawing my comic. Nobody knows Mandro but me. And then like him and the hand like fucking team up to fucking like go murder everybody. Like they murder that lady in the car. They murder the fucking comic book guy. I feel kind of bad for that guy because he's just really taking a freelance fucking job. He gets to draw Mandro.
He's just across kind of douchey though. They did a good job.
He kind of was like, whatever, old man. Like 70s fucking rule. It's 1981, you fucking cunt. You're like, yeah, well, whatever. Fuck you. I got an afro. I'm white. But I'm drawing Mandro. You're not. Mr. Left-handed can't draw. Worth shit, huh? What you gonna do? What?
I got all that on a bumper sticker right here.
Like, kills his fucking publicist who, like, acts like his mother. I remember, like, when they're out to eat, she's, like, cutting his fucking steak for him. I'm like, that's fucking weird. Like, is that his mother? I'm like, oh, no, that's not.
Well, he's still learning the hand thing. He's still learning to control his hand.
Oh, I guess that's true. He was missing his hand by that point. At first, I just like doing it's like, you need to eat up, Johnny. Here you go. Here, let me cut the steak for you.
If she started feeding him and making airplane noises, then it's okay work.
Yeah, coming into the Shutter Bay doors.
I just want to make my mandro. And you will, and the world will respect it, and they will fear it too.
You know, and I love the idea of the Tyler Durden Mandro fucking alter identity thing. You know what I mean? Then there's the other thing too. He's got this like fucking ring, this JL, which I know that's like his fucking initials, but I feel like it's a comic book fucking movie. It's like that's his fucking Justice League ring. He's like whatever the wife's name is. Let's just call her Stacy. But Stacy, where's my fucking ring? I left it here. The fucking Justice League gave me this ring. I didn't get it out of a fucking Cracker Jack box. I got it from Batman him fucking self. Where's the fucking ring, Stacy? Out of all the goddamn fucking things you could have forgot, you forgot my Justice League club ring.
Well, that's the thing. Like, what if he even, like, they had that in there, but all right, they just alluded that he knows Batman and Superman, but they never show that. That was a bold choice. No, but so as it goes on, though, like, he starts doing, like you said, he starts doing classes at this college in Sacramento, or not too far from Sacramento, and starts he's like, well, shit's already gone bad with my wife, and this one student is literally throwing herself at me. So, yeah, fuck it. Okay.
Well, that's kind of weird, like, yo, Pops, you got a beer? Yes, come on in. Cool. And he's just like there, it's like, by the way, this guy, Tommy, whatever, always wants to fucking pull his pants up and show me his dick. Fucking weird. I don't like him. I like you. Here's my comics. They're okay, right? I get a fucking
Here's
job.
my tits.
Yeah, well, she's all like, it's like, well, when do you want to be in life? She's like, I don't know. I just want to go to fucking school till I die. It's like, it's not a fucking career option. Like, hey, you're fucking 22 years old. You don't know what you want to be. It's like one of those ones. It's like the fucking youth is saying, okay, get in my bed. I'll show you what you want to be. I have a hand.
Well, she's even being more of kind of in control of that scene than he is, because she really comes on to him.
Yeah, like really comes on. Like, I mean, like.
And he's just kind of playing it off like, okay, I guess. And he's kind of getting that little bit of that, like, I know I probably shouldn't, but I mean, shit's already bad with my wife, and fuck it, she's hot.
Fuck Yoga Bill. Fuck Yoga Bill. That's probably what's going through his head.
He's just like looking at, like, he just has like a picture of him of his wife and Yoga Bill. And he's just looking over the pictures.
Just sternly fucking with Yoga Bill like in his like mind. Take that, Yoga Bill. Fuck you, Yoga Bill. Who's Yoga Bill? Shut the fuck up. Don't make me use the claw hand on you.
So he's doing that, and they just have this relationship going on for a little while. She comes over a few times. And then at some point, he says, oh, you want to come over to my place for Christmas? And, because he and his wife aren't seeing each other that time. And she's like, oh, I don't know. Maybe. I mean, I'll try to. I might. And then between there's this one guy. I don't remember how he met him, but I want to say he was like groundskeeper at the college or something like that.
Yeah, he's the guy. I want to say that's the guy who got him the job there in California.
Oh, okay. So there's this one guy, I don't remember his name, but there's one redneck guy, and he starts off seeming kind of cool, but then immediately he goes like, yeah, I'm trying to fuck this one bitch. She works at the grocery store, one of your students. Like, oh, okay. You know her? Like, yeah. How do you know her? Like, oh, well.
You just said she's one of my fucking students.
Have you fucked her? Is that it, man? You fucked her? Are you the reason she's not fucking me? Like, so he goes like total aggro.
I'm fucking taking her to LA. That was my fucking plan. That was my Christmas plan, and you fucked it up.
You're the Grinch who stole pussy.
He's like, I don't know what the fuck to do with myself anymore. I'm just gonna go to the redneck bar and hang out here and get fucking wasted and think about what I could have been at in LA at a fucking Motley Crue concert right now.
Instead, I have to settle for a Dire Straits cover band right here. I'll be in the glory hole. First thing that sucks me off, I'm going to pretend it's her. Hopefully it's a woman. I don't know.
But I don't give a fuck at this point. I'm fucking 15 Budweisers in because that's who's sponsoring this fucking film.
You can see 3 neon signs behind me.
There's like a Budweiser in like every shot in this movie.
And then the thing is, the few times they show him, he's like just kind of like the blue collar. Oh, hey man, what's up? And then like, out of this one trip, he suddenly becomes like, I was gonna fuck her, but you fucked her, man. Like, he becomes almost more like threatening and weird than the girl. We should mention by this point, something happened. He mentioned like earlier on that he wanted to fuck the girl, and he is past the point where he fucked her. He's like, oh yeah, her. I kind of know about her, and he's all talking about, oh, that bitch gets around. So that kind of made him mad because he's like, I thought I was special, but she fucks everybody. So out of that, the hand went and goes and kills
She's
her.
like a door-to-door salesman. She just fucking goes down the street knocking on doors, and the first person to let her in, that's just it.
Unless it's like Bobby's house, because Bobby's the one guy trying to fuck her. Like, she just skips that house, but hits up every other house. I like the way you look
fuck
at
Bobby,
me.
who pulls his jeans up real tight.
I like the way you look at me. You look at me like I'm a person. Like, I'm not just a pair of ass. Like, thanks for coming in. This is my son Tommy. I don't know you.
Yeah, I thought.
Daniel, who is that? I don't know.
I thought she was a Mormon selling religion. I was way wrong.
Merry Christmas. It's cold out there. Close the door. Is that my new mommy?
No, Billy, shut the fuck up now. Get back to your Connect 4, whatever the fuck you're into.
So, they end up going and, like, she ends up going over to his house at some point to Michael Caine's cabin, and he has, like, a lacy, sexy lingerie
I bought you a Christmas present, straight from Santa Claus himself. He sent it here, just for me to give to you. Now why are you fucking crying? Oh, I hate when they cry.
I lock the door until they're done crying. Then she's like, oh, I gotta go. And that's where, he kind of pieces things together. He hears from the one guy, and then she goes back to the house at some point when he's not there, because I think she has a key or something. And the hand comes out and just strangles her. And I think that, maybe I'm wrong, was she the first or second death at the hand?
Ooh,
This hand doesn't kill many people by the end of this movie. Oh, and there's a hobo. There's the hobo.
Oliver Stone hobo.
Shoulders with the. There's the one armless hobo who's just like that one handless hobo. He's like, "Hey man, we're brothers. Get the fuck out of my way. Yeah, fuck you." And the hand comes and
that's Oliver Stone too.
That's Oliver Stone.
Yeah, because he always has a cameo in his movie. And when I was like, "Oh shit, that's Oliver." I just never seen him with a beard before.
I didn't know that was Oliver Stone. Well, here's something I wish happened right there. I wish, because that guy had a hand too. So in this world, if you lose your hand, it becomes your little murder buddy. So they missed the
hands
opportunity.
fight fucking together like a fucking scorpion.
Like a Pokemon, like a Pokemon. Yeah, exactly.
Charhander, I choose you.
Just all they make is.
Then the Oliver Stone guys are like, rusty needles, go!
Oh no, it's a rock type. It's a scissors type. Yeah. It's a paper type. That's all it is, just the lamest game of like rock, paper, scissors, and then just one just like... I just like the idea of them just like, circling each other like a fucking scorpion battle. Some old Vietnamese guys or
throwing
like
fucking
betting
money
on the
down
alley.
on there and so on. Oh.
So anyway, where was that guy's magical hand that he lost? Anyway,
yeah.
So, because that's something.
Because that's the one thing they never explain why the magic happens that makes this hand kind of start walking, fucking around, and jumping through windows like that fucking cat did. They don't explain why that cat was able to just jump through the fucking window. Though, granted, I have seen a cat go fucking hyperspeed into stuff once to try to escape, so I'm not saying that's out of the question. I think a cat could definitely hyperspeed through a fucking window.
Yeah, it could. But, so, moving forward from there, hand strangles her, and then the wife comes home and comes to visit them for Christmas, because by that point, he's like, go ahead, come over for Christmas. That one chick's not here. Who? Nobody. Just come on by. And,
But she she's like, why don't you hire one of your college kids to like help take care around the house? Like, I can do it myself.
I may be missing a hand, but I'm not some old lady. What are you fucking saying, you fucking bitch? Like, oh, Jesus Christ, it's fucking, I'm just saying.
Well, it's funny because the wife is, like, so calm. She's got, like, fucking yoga meditation calm, like, every single time. So they kind of, I don't know if they try to get across like that, but it's like they have that thing where it's just like Michael Caine just always freaking out, or she's just always like, it's okay, Michael. It's gonna be fine. Uncle Bill and I are fucking. Just get used to it.
Just embrace it.
Just embrace it.
You can watch if it helps with the easing.
What we've learned is that if you stand in the corner doing the fucking Ryu thing from Street Fighter V, like you're charging your chi, it's gonna be okay. You'll have this yoga feel going on. Fucking
granted, it's way easier if you have both hands, but still.
Still, you know, I mean, you could still probably shoot some type of Hadouken. It'll be like a Dan Hadouken.
Only goes like 2 feet before it pops.
Yeah, but you know, you can learn this from the yoga. Believe me, I've read it many a times. Uncle Bill knows. Stop calling him fucking Uncle Bill. He's not anybody's uncle, and it's weird to fuck your uncle. Don't you think that?
So as it goes on, it's just this very tense time, and the wife's all like, I want to let you know, we are going to New York. She's like, you're not taking my fucking daughter from me. She's then like, says, oh yeah, I am. You can go ahead and ask her. And he just like, it's just this very slow, intense moment. He's just staring at her, slowly closes the door. And I think we should mention by this point, the one redneck guy that was kind of his friend, he total went all aggro on him. Like, you fucked a girl. Like, wait, you said you've been blacking out. Who knows what you did to her? Like, no, I just blacked out. That could mean anything, really. No, I'm gonna go tell the cops. And then he gets strangled in his car, and like, oh, that's that.
Well, there's a part. It's a little bit before this too. Where the first time he's kind of talked to him, or one of the times he's like, well, I'll black out sometimes. He's like, oh, really? Well, blacking out's not good at anything like that. He's like, well, what if there's rape? Oh, rape's not that big of a deal. That you don't gotta worry about that. What if you fucking kill somebody? Shit. You know, I know a thing about blacking out. Like, I fucking teach a class on it or some shit. Like, why do I know so much about blacking out? I don't know, but believe me, I'm the mentor.
I skimmed through a psychology book one time.
Yeah, that's the class I teach here. You know what I mean? It's the blackout class. What do you do? Well, we just drink until we black out and see what happens and take fucking notes on it. Leave a fucking video camera rolling. I don't know. Fuck you.
You find out he just like, you know, invades one of like the dorm rooms. Like, all right, Uncle Johnny's here with a 12-pack.
Who's getting fucked up tonight? Oh, I don't want to get fucked. Jimmy, you getting fucked up tonight because you know what? If you don't get fucked up, you're getting a fucking F for the class.
But I didn't even sign up for this class. Drink your Coors, Billy.
I got Coors Light, so we're gonna have to drink it 3 times as much. It was on sale though, so fuck you.
Takes none of these things to feel anything.
If
you're gonna drive and drink,
by the time we
drink
hit 22, we might be fucking each other, but it's okay because it's. I know it's 81, but we still got that holdover from the 70s, so it's still not gay yet.
Now chug this beer up your ass. I want to see what happens.
Yeah. We'll call it a science experiment. That's how we get more funding from the government.
Okay, let's, to make it more official, what is your hypothesis of what will happen?
Come on, you're in college. You got this going, right? Right? I mean, shit. You're not gonna be like that one chick at the fucking supermarket who her college goal is to keep going to college till the day she fucking dies.
And fuck everybody in the whole town, apparently.
Yeah. Shit.
I mean, it's pretty easy to do because it's in the double digits, you know.
You know, fuck. You don't believe this. A guy had to drive to Reno to get away from her for a while. What the fuck he did in Reno, God knows what, but you know what? Science. That's what we teach here at this school.
Well, I heard this theory about how a hand can move after it's been severed. That's fucking stupid. We're talking science.
Yeah. This ain't no fucking Evil Dead bullshit. Now, I know that hasn't come out yet, but believe me, when I blacked out, I had a vision once.
I have a friend in the industry. You kids are gonna see some fucked up shit. You ever seen a tree fuck a lady? You will.
That's okay though. Michael Caine, he drew a picture of a hand fucking a lady, so.
Oh yeah, that's right.
There's that part where it's like, she's flipping, she's like, hey, these are my drawings, but I'm just gonna like leave them here. And then like Michael Caine's flipping through them, and they literally just look like anybody's like, you know, first like 3 months of like drawing, you know what I mean, when you're just kind of getting it going. And then all of a sudden there's like this highly detailed like lady like on her fucking knees, and like it's almost like a fucking heavy metal cover of some sort. It does, and this fucking hand just like rotting in flesh and everything like that fucking this lady. It's just like, oh.
He's like, what the fuck? So then, after, you know, a very tense time of his family being back and his wife, he's just like, I'm fucking done with this. And by this point, he's kind of aware that, like, okay, the hand goes out and does shit by itself. I haven't seen it, but it does shit. Oh, actually, you know, there's one scene. This kind of, because for a while, I was like, okay, he's going to open the closet and 2 bodies are going to fall out of there. Or something like that. And then I thought this was a good kind of bait and switch thing for the movie, because at some point, the wife, he's like, he's tired of the fucking wife. He's like, I'm ready to cut ties with this bitch. She's gonna take my daughter from me. She's fucking ruining my life, this and that. And then
she's got my daughter. She's not eating meat anymore. What the fuck is wrong with her?
For Christmas,
she thinks a lentil is gonna be the same as a steak. Is she fucking retarded?
He's like, he just like wakes, Christmas morning happens, like, hello, my dear. Like, oh, hi, Daddy. It's time to go get our Christmas breakfast. Like, well, okay, we gonna have pancakes? No pancakes today. Today, we find an elk. Like, what? That's right, we're gonna kill an elk with our bare hands, the way Mordon will.
Yes. But Daddy, like, I mean, I don't like guns. No. We're not gonna use guns. With our bare hands, we will strangle an elk. Strangle the living life out of it, and then drink its blood in ritual sacrifice. Because your mother is a fucking idiot. She thinks Uncle Bill, in his fucking white yoga ways, and his non-meat eating fucking fucking book reading bullshit is gonna cover for it. Not, you know what, in fucking Italy, it is fucking illegal if you try to feed a kid no meat in their diet. Did you fucking know that? Well, guess what?
Maybe we'll move it.
In America, we're gonna fucking keep you healthy. And fuck your mother. Fuck your Jennifer Connelly looking mother away.
And he's like, it's not a Merry Christmas until you see the eyes of that elk roll back as it gasps its last gasp for this mortal coil. It's like, Father, I just wanted to open my presents. You'll open your presents soon enough. But the greatest present of all, taking the life of another for your own sustenance, is awaiting you.
Leave me with my Terminator fucking hand. I can crush anything.
He just like points his nub. There! Just the hand just like strikes out of nowhere at the side of like a neck of a deer. Like, goes down. So there's this good bait and switch thing where he's like talking some shit to his wife again, just more of that "you're not taking my daughter" type of thing, and then
fuck Bill. I hate Bill.
She's like, "You're gonna fuck Bill, aren't you? And then she's like, "So what stinks in this car?" And then you see the hand crawl by in the background. You're like, "Oh, okay, it's the hand. Cool, all right." So and he sees the hand. He's just like, "It will do its job. Fair enough." And then, sure enough, she comes back, and he's all like, "Mommy's not coming back tonight, dearie." "But I see Mommy's car." "It's not her car. You stay away." "Oh, fuck. Oh, hello. Why are you back?"
Hey.
He's like, the hand fucked up. Like, what if like he just looked out the window, the hand just did like a...
Just like, I'm like, are you fucking serious?
He's just like doing like the weight, as if he's like kind of weighing his arms, like, I don't know, like just kind of messed up.
Yeah, you know, I got distracted at the store. Just saying, you know.
So, there is a sale on soft shell tacos. What can I say?
And I bought some hand cream. You know, on my hand, I needed some hand cream. And got, you know, sort of distracted. Fuck you. I'm not killing everybody for you. I let that lady live who fucking cut you off and made me lose your hand.
So
Maybe that was a
then,
blessing in disguise. I don't fucking know. I'm a hand.
Now we're best friends forever.
I just murder people and fucking like are friends with a fucking cat that jumps through the window. Dude, if that hand rode the cat at some point, that would have fucking topped it off.
I think that would have, like, just like Mario on Yoshi. Yeah.
You know, like in the labyrinth when they meet that fox thing in like the Pooh Land or whatever like that, where it fucking rides the dog. Like I don't know what it is, but when it rides that fucking dog, always puts a fucking smile on my face. No,
wasn't it just doing some weird kind of like single motion? Just it looks like something rolling its legs like this, and they're just like breezing by a bunch of shit real quickly. Or is that my thinking? Never-ending Story?
I think that's about it, because like, I don't know what it is. It's just like the fucking puppet thing on like the fucking dog just looks hilarious. So now I just picture that the hand on top of the fucking cat running through a fucking window.
So then from there, he has, another vision. He's more of just tense shit with him and his wife. And the hand goes and tries to kill his wife in his sleep. He's just like, I gotta stop the hand! And he goes up there. He's all like, the daughter comes in, like, no, you're hurting mommy. He's like, no, I'm trying to save mommy. Call the police. And he goes in, leads them to the farm, and he has like a single struggle with his own hand, like strangling his neck and this and that. And
it's like total like proto Evil Dead 2 inside here.
Yeah, and that's when the cops come at some point, like, oh, yeah, like his wife. I don't think his wife died. I think she just got hurt badly because I don't think she died.
Yeah, like. She gets strangled by the hand, but then it's like it almost has like a cutback later on where it shows him like
her eyes open, rolling back, kinda.
Yeah, so she's still kind of alive, and the police say that she's alive, and there's like the whole battle of fucking Michael Caine's fighting the fucking hand out there and shit.
And then they're like, "What's that smell?" Like, I don't know. Like, can we open the car? Like, yeah, open the car.
Yeah, boy, if you could open the trunk for us, and we could take a look inside.
Open the fucking car! He's like losing his shit. Like, open the fucking car, you fucking dolt! There's nothing in there! And then that's the two bodies of the girl he was fucking and the redneck are in there. And
then he looks over his shoulder, the hand's like, I don't know, look like a place to store them.
Just freeze frame, Seinfeld theme plays. Boom, 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 boom. The hand just like, I don't know, like right in front of these two corpses.
Did you want me to just leave them in the kitchen? Laugh track.
What if Michael Caine just smiles, points like, oh, you motherfucker, you got me.
And then the movie kind of ends with like fucking I almost said Michael Crichton, fucking Michael Caine, like in like fucking shock therapy or whatever, like out there tested with all these like old school computers and so on, with the psychiatrist being like, okay, Michael, I think we've cured you almost. You know what I mean? Let's go through it all. And as he's thinking about it, he thinks of all like the deaths of kind of like how they went, because then it has this kind of thing where it tosses up like, was it the hand or was it like fucking like the illusion that he thought of it as the hand, but it was really just Michael Caine fucking killing people. Because it kind of goes back and it shows him killing the college chick, him killing like the college whatever fucking like staff member,
keeper, whatever
the fuck he was, the guy who taught the fucking blackout class. And then him like, but it shows him with like the wife, it just shows him run in fucking fist, like fucking Terminator fist, just slamming on her face. It's like, oh god, that's worse than the hand strangling her. Jesus Christ.
And then he's all like, what does the hand want? The hand wants to kill you. Like, where is the hand? By your leg. Oh, okay. The hand doesn't want to kill me. You want to kill me. That's what it is. You're just putting it all on this mythical thing that doesn't exist. And he's like, all right, whatever. And then all of a sudden the hand strangles her, and as soon as she falls back, just immediately, like the back of her head, like just blood everywhere. And then he's laughing. I'll say this: I kind of wish the movie had more imagery, like it did in the little insane asylum room, just because the angles they were choosing, the black and white checkered ground,
it was kind of sort of like had the high up camera angles and so on.
Had some like fisheye lens scenes kind of in there, and like I think if it had more of that and had some of the creepy psychological horror stuff that happened earlier on in this movie, I think that would have actually been a good balance. Or if the hand just killed more people more than just strangled again.
Wait, I'll say this. This is the point where it kind of peters out is right when the college chick shows up. I feel that there to the end. And it's not that it's bad, but like it goes from being like, oh, this is a fucking really sweet movie to being like, oh, okay, this is just a mediocre horror movie. That kind of part right there. I mean, then the end kind of picks up, but I think it should have went way more like fucking weirder and shit. Like, I mean, I know it's like, once again, it's an 81 movie, so I guess you can't like, if this movie came out today, I guess you would easily be able to say that, but now it's like, okay, back then and so on. Oliver Stone, it's only his second movie he really made. I don't know, there's like a 7-year fucking period, though, between this movie and the movie he did beforehand, so what the hell did he do in that time period? I really want to know. I mean, I know obviously he wrote some scripts probably and so on, but...
Yeah, that's maybe when he was just writing a lot of scripts, and yeah, that is a big long...
Oh, you know what? He was probably in the war, because he went to Vietnam and he was a photographer for a while. That's probably what happened.
That's right, yeah.
So that's probably that's why there was such a big gap between there. That would make more sense.
Yeah, because he was in Last Years in Nam. That's a short. 74 did a horror film called Seizure, and another short, Madman of I want to butcher this. Martin Q, or Martin, I don't know. Then The Hand.
Well, wait, so he might have been
74, 71, 74, and then we jump over to 79. 74 to 79.
He could have been a nom. Well, he might have been a nom, but way before that, because that would have been late if he was a nom after 74.
Nom ended in 75, right?
Yeah, I mean, I guess as a photographer, you could have had it extended. But
I mean, the movie's called Last Year Nam, and it's 71, but I thought Nam ended in 75. Maybe I'm wrong, though.
But Nam's, like, glory days, like, or, like, its main point is, like, late 60s, early 70s. So I bet you he was actually a Nam before Seizure. So I don't know what he did between, like, those other years. Maybe he was just writing and doing...
Technically, it was 55 to 75. So, yeah, that's kind of... He could have just been hanging out there for a while. Maybe that's when it was all kind of petering out, when they were still kind of just getting what was left and documenting that. Because
I know he was a photographer. That was his job. Because I remember it explains in like the Platoon special features, I want to say. But but yeah, no, like The Hand's one of those ones. Like I think it's still like an interesting movie. Like I'll say it's definitely worth checking out, just because the whole idea of having Michael Caine in like a horror movie, in an Oliver Stone movie. It's an artist, it's a comic book artist. Like there's all kinds of interesting stuff going on. I just think it could be a little bit cooler than it is. Like it's not bad, but it's kind of like a halfway horror movie is the best way to sort of say it.
I think there's room for like a drama horror movie with a similar premise. I just think that you know what? I think it's such a weird concept, and I think people now laugh at the campiness of it. But I think if you went some really weird, fucked up, creepy directions, this is one of those movies like, you know what, you can make a good remake off this. Because I think remakes should be reserved for something that maybe you could like, oh, you know what, it's maybe not the best movie, but has some good moments and a good concept. And not that a hand going around killing people is the greatest concept, but I think with the right... I think this has some interesting elements. The biggest interesting element being Oliver Stone, and then it has the comic book angle. So I think if you took some more liberties with that and try to pull more from, a weird because it's like, well, he's a comic book artist from the late 70s, early 80s, so it's going to be like probably a lot of weird, fucked up creative deaths. Not really, but I think that there is a possibility like this could make a good remake if they chose to do that.
Yeah, because the thing is, too, is the comic book stuff in this movie is kind of, like, few and far between. Like, it kind of disappears by the time that, like, college girl shows up, you know what I mean? They don't mention it too often from that point on. So I think it is one of those movies. Here's the thing, horror movies are one of the few ones that, like, there's some great horror movie remakes out there. I mean, you look at, like, The Hills Have Eyes, the Rob Zombie Halloween. Some people do some fantastic jobs at, like, remakes. I mean, there's other ones, too, where they're not, like, nearly as good, like, kind of Last House on the Left, where it's, like, kind of like the PG-13 version. I know it's rated R, but like it feels PG-13 compared to Wes Craven's one and so on. But I think The Hand could be, because if you really like emphasize that comic bookness and really took it to the fucking weird, where like the comic, like maybe like have that hand fucking draw weird shit out and stuff like that and creepy imagery, you know what I mean? And use the artistic stuff, like a Kyle Rayner, you know what I mean? Like picture if Kyle Rayner's hand fucking got chopped off with the Green Lanterns. What would that hand fucking do if it was possessed and evil?
Even taking away the comic book aspect, I'm just imagining what this movie would be if you handed it to, like, Dario Argento. Someone like that at this time.
Yeah. That would be kind of sick. Or, what's his name? Fucking, wrestler guy.
The wrestler, fucking Black Swan. Darren Aronofsky.
Yeah, like I feel like he could do something really sweet with this because though he doesn't really make like full-on horror movies, I feel all his movies always have like that sort of horror elements into them and so on, and I think that would be kind of neat.
Mm-hmm.
One other little fun factoid I thought about this movie is I like how Michael Caine, the reason why he did this movie is like he's like, I wanted to buy a new garage and just paid for it, so I got myself a new garage. Yep.
I just like it when they're honest about it like that. Like I like how even Harrison Ford was super honest about why'd you come back to Han Solo? Money.
Yeah.
Oh, you're. It's not about the legacy of Han Solo. No. I just money.
I like fucking money. Yeah, you know. But yeah, it's one of those ones like sure, why not? Because you know. But yeah, I think The Hand, 1981. Go out and check that movie. We'll put a link in the description for it and so on, so you can find it there. I think on the DVD it has like an audio commentary by Oliver Stone, so it's like, you know, there's nothing else special features wise, but still kind of cool. I bet you they sit down and actually go through that one. But at the end of the day, it's not the most perfect movie, but I definitely think it sets itself up for a sweet remake if anybody did want to do it. Like fucking Robert Rodriguez would probably nail it too, actually, now that I think about it. But
he would probably make a more B horror movie, and that could still be fun. The concept alone is B horror film, but I think it'd be interesting if you try to take it like psychological kind of. I'm using this word kind of liberally. I don't mean it too much, but like art house direction, and not like, well, what is the hand? Is the hand his inner wants? Is it his... Nothing like that. I mean more of just kind of like, you said it earlier, like Darren Aronofsky. And even though Dario Argento is someone who did a lot of fucked up horror movies, they always had a weird, kind of artsy, kind of creative angle to them.
Exactly, yeah. Like a lot of those Italian directors and so on, that'd be kind of cool. But I still think this movie's also one of those ones, like, you know for a fact that this fucking movie inspired Evil Dead. There is no way this movie was not, like, in the repertoire for, like, Sam Raimi when they're, like, putting Evil Dead together. Because you look at this stuff, it's like, shit, this is so, like, proto-Evil Dead 2.
That or Addams Family.
Well, that too. Addams Family as well. I was thinking about that as the hand.
You know, what if it from Addams Family, like, fucking killed people? Like, shit, yeah, that's a good point.
You know, but, no. Cool, fun movie. Enjoyed it. Not perfect, but definitely a good ride. Plus, you gotta love Michael Caine going fucking insane, fucking wild hair. You know what I mean? Gene Wilder hair fucking to the max. Why not? But
Michael Caine, Gene Wilder, cocaine bender. Yeah.
Exactly. Nothing but good times. But beyond that, we'll put the link in the description. Check out oldmanorange.com for more podcasts, comics, music, movies, all that fun stuff, animations, and so on. Check out Pizza Boyz issue 8, hopefully coming out very soon. I'm Spencer Scott Holmes.
And I'm Ryan Dunigan.
And we'll see you some other time.
Later, folks.
Thanks again for listening to the Old Man Orange podcast. Sure, check out oldmanorange.com for more podcasts, cartoons, music, animation, and a whole lot more. We also have the Old Man Orange blog going with all kinds of fun stuff. If you easily want to support the show, use one of our Amazon links either on the website or in the description of the podcast below. Rate, review, and subscribe to the show either on Podbean, iTunes, Spotify, YouTube, Newgrounds, or anywhere else that you seem to get this podcast from. Grab the sitcom-styled comic book Pizza Boyz on either Comix Central, Comixology, or Amazon. Want more podcasts? Check out the Indie Comics Club over at Comix Central. I also got a workout website called Thor's Hidden Gym, filled with fitness tips and tricks, videos, and a whole lot more fun stuff in the calisthenics world. Talk to us on Twitter, at Spencer S. Holmes and Dunigan Ryan. Like our Facebook pages of Old Man Orange Productions and Pizza Boyz Comic. Thanks again, we're out of here.